What is the difference between jagged arrays and multi-dimensional arrays in C#? Let's start with the definitions quickly, and then I'm going to move to the code examples where I will try to demonstrate how we can use both of these arrays in our code. So what are jagged arrays? A jagged array is an array of arrays, which means that each element of the main array can be an array of different lengths. On the other hand, the multi-dimensional arrays are rectangular arrays, which means that each multi-dimensional array has a fixed number of rows and columns. Okay, let's start with our first code example. Let's quickly create a normal array to see the difference between the normal and the jagged array. So let's call this normal array, and it will contain integers. So let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's print it to the console. So console, lifeline. This is our normal array, and let's print the elements for each int. And we have console, lifeline I, and let's run our code and see the output. We have normal array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's take a look at the jagged arrays and see what the difference is. We can do again a jagged array which contains several arrays of different size, all of them with integers. So let's do that. Jagged array equals new int. Let's have new int 1, 2. And let's make this different size, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to have this one 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now again, let's print our elements to the screen, to the console. So we go console, line, and this is jagged array, and for int I equals 0, I smaller than our jagged array length. And again, we're going to loop through each one of the elements of the jagged array, which is also an array. So we're going to go int j equals 0, and we're going to increase j until we are done, and we need to print the element console, line, and that is it. So let's run our code and see the output, and we have jagged array and all the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the difference between our normal arrays and our jagged arrays is that the elements of the jagged arrays are also arrays, and each one of them can be of different length. Okay, something else I want to mention quickly. In C#, the jagged array must contain elements which are going to be arrays of the same type. Meaning, right here, we have an integer jagged array, so each one of the elements is going to be an array which holds integers. You cannot mix doubles and integers, for instance. If we try to do that, we're going to get an error. There is a way to work around that, but it's not going to be by using jagged arrays. You can use array of objects, and then you can simply mix your elements any way you want. You can also make the first one, let's say, an integer. The next one is going to be an array which holds integers, and the next one is going to be an array of doubles, and so on. Again, this is not a jagged array. This is an array of objects, a single dimensional array. Okay, now let's take a look at the multi-dimensional arrays in C#. Okay, let's delete all this code and declare and initialize our multi-dimensional array. So multi-dimensional array. Let's do that, and we're going to go multi-array equals new int again, and we said what? 2 by 3, and we're going to have our elements. The first one is going to be 1, 2, 3, and the second one is going to be 4, 5, 6. And now we can again print the elements to the console. So we're going to do that quickly. Multi-dimensional array, and let's loop through all the elements. For int j equals, and then console. So let's run our code, and we get multi-dimensional array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now let's take a look at 2 more code snippets which demonstrate again jagged arrays and multi-dimensional arrays, but this time we're going to use more real life like examples. So that way it all should make sense to you. Why do we need all these different types of arrays? Okay, so let's start with the jagged arrays again. We're going to go student grades. And these are all going to be integers again. And we're going to have several students. So the first student is going to have grades 85, 98, and let's make it 78. So these are the grades for student number 1. And in a similar way, we're going to have 2 more students. So student 2, student 3, and this student has only 2 grades, so let's do that. Let's make 98, 97 or whatever. And then we have student 3 with 4 grades actually. So the first one is going to be 100, the second one is going to be 85, 98, and let's make it 85 again. And you can see how we can use our jagged array to hold the grades for students, for example. This is more like a real life example. Why? Because some of these students might have only 3 grades, some of them might have 2 grades, and then you see right here we have another student with 4 grades. So using jagged arrays makes perfect sense, and we can again print all the student grades to the console. So we're going to do that quickly just to demonstrate and finish our example. So we can go, and I believe that is all we need. Yes, student's grade, student 1, these are the grades for the student 1, student 2 with 2 grades, and student 3 with 4 grades. And this is how you use jagged arrays in your real life programs. Now let's take a look at another code example for multi-dimensional arrays, which more resembles real life application. Let's do that quickly next. Okay, we're going to use multi-dimensional array to represent a chessboard. So we're going to use strings this time. And let's call it chessboard equals new string. And it is 8 by 8, not 4 by 4. So let's do that 8 by 8. And we're going to initialize some of the pieces on the chessboard. So chessboard 0, 0. It's going to be a rook. And let's add a few more pieces. We're going to make this 1, 2, and this one is going to be in a different position. So let's do a knight, if I can spell it, knight, and then we have a bishop, and this one is going to be a pawn on a different row. And let's quickly print our chessboard. Console, right line, chessboard. Okay, so I had to change the console write online to get it right. And now if we run our program, you can see that we have some pieces here. We have the rook, the knight, and the bishop in the first row, and the pawn is in the second row. So this is a quick example of how you can use a multi-dimensional array to solve a real-life program. And that is all from me for today. If you like my videos, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.